just a small town girl living in a lonely world. She meets a brand new boy right in Cradle Bay. They start to see some creepy shit happening among the cliques, and they have to use a sound just to get away. I'm John Martin with the retro review of Disturbing Behavior. We go all the way back to 1998, where director David Nutter, no really, that was his last name, which I reacted to with the good taste and maturity you all come to expect from me, and if you've come to expect that from me, you are obviously new to this channel. And he directs this movie that has Katie Holmes at the height of the Dawson's Creek popularity, Nick Stahl, James Marsden, Bruce Greenwood playing the same goddamn creepy character he's played in pretty much 80 to 90% of the movies he's been in, and William Sadler, who is basically just playing this, weird janitor that liked to smash rats and use weird sounds to lure them out, because what high school wouldn't feel safe hiring a janitor like that? So yeah, this movie was kind of at the height of trying to capitalize on Scream and other self-aware horror movies by having characters that were aware of horror movie cliches and were a few banding against, this terrible thing that has befallen our town. And it's set in the town of Cradle Bay, Washington, which takes place on Crescent Island, but this was actually filmed in Vancouver, BC. As far as geography goes, it's a little bit off. It is cheaper to film in Canada, or at least it was back then. And I will say that I didn't really particularly enjoy this movie when I first saw it. It's the bare bones of a good concept, but it's like 74 minutes of runtime. Like, seriously, once the opening credits end, and once the end credits start, 74 minutes, I was like, if they had tacked on like another 15 minutes of this, one, they could have fleshed out really any of the goddamn characters, because every character is either rice paper thin or 2 layers of rice paper thin. And everybody else, yes, there's a bunch of pretty girls, there's a bunch of jock guys, or nerdy guys, or goth guys, and stuff like that. And it's just a hodgepodge of, characters, human centipede together in this ridiculously simple film. That's not to say it's all bad. There's some good, somewhat creepy shit, at least for back in 98. And the disturbing behavior really is exuded by everybody trying to cram so much character development into like one scene. Seriously, so many characters get maybe 1 or 2 scenes, and it's just weird shit that happens, and then we just move on to the next thing. We don't even really reference it later. It's like, oh no, maybe they were planning on doing Disturbing Behavior 2, Electric Boogaloo, or or they decided to cut 25 minutes out of the goddamn film, which I'm actually willing to go with that theory, because they really cut out a lot of stuff, seemingly. Anyway, again, it is set in the town of Cradle Bay, Washington. We have Steve, played by James Marsden, arriving with his sister and parents. They are moving from Chicago to this simple island town, where everything's perfectly fine, except for the fact there's a whole bunch of nearly perfect teens, played by early 20-somethings, that, are basically trying to get everybody to assimilate into their goddamn group. They're taking over the town. This high school also seems to consist of about 100 goddamn people, which I found fucking hilarious. It's like if Invasion of the Body Snatchers went with, some other stupid bullshit instead of like, something like that. This is more government experimentation, but it's just about as silly. It's like Invasion of the Body Snatchers in 1993. The version nobody fucking wanted, yet Donald Sutherland felt the need to be in that. So anyway, we open with a girl and a guy in a car. It's a typical thing of, teens making out and everything. Maybe there's going to be a killer. The guy says, no, look, I need my fluids. And he says, that tattoo, that's mutilation. She says, mutilate this fluid, boy. She decides to suck his you-know-what. And he snaps because this implant in his eye says, no, naughty thoughts, you will not have that. And he snaps her neck. Man, that is extreme oral right there. That's a great climax. Oh, wait, no, that's the beginning of the goddamn movie. Cops show up. The guy snaps because he has impure thoughts, hence the disturbing behavior. He shoots one of the cops, and the other cop says, yeah, go away, go, what are you doing? And Nick Stahl's character, Gavin, happens to see this. And we don't see his dog afterwards. I assume that the dog cost too much money and negotiated with its agent to get out of this movie, so we never saw him again. And the music really does remind me of my high school. It really fucking does. Like, I remember quite a bit, like Harvey Danger's Flagpole Sitta. Every little thing counts. If you've seen the movie, you know the songs I'm talking about. It is very generic as far as characters, plot, scares, and really any character motivations. Like, you know exactly where everything's gonna come up. Like, suddenly, oh, here's this character. Oh, no, this person's trying to save this one other character, but oh no, they can't save this one, but they can save this other one, and they can easily get out of this situation by simply just relying on the absolute stupidity of the people running this whole goddamn government operation. Why did they pick an island town of about 200 people? I will never fucking know. Because I've been to a lot of these island towns that are mostly tourist attractions in Washington. They ain't very big, folks. You ain't gonna find a lot of ways to hide among, people like that. Anyway, yeah, they're turned into perfect people, but if they have impure thoughts, if they think with their penises or their vaginas or their sexual nature, they will go nuts. I don't know what the fuck that accent was. And yeah, William Sadler actually played the fucking goddamn craziest janitor that I've ever seen this side of Freddy Krueger. And he had this weird sound, this weird box that basically lured rats out. Gee, this won't factor into what happens later. Oh, wait, it will. They refer to the jocks and the transform people as Blue Ribbon robots, Blue Ribbon Society. Pat's Blue Ribbon must have been thrilled with this, free advertisement. So Steve doesn't believe Gavin, and then Gavin ends up showing Transform the next day. Oh no, but then he's never seen again. Seriously, this is what I mean by the movie being hacked with garden shears. It's like we introduce this character, and then he switch, and then, okay, we just forgot about him. Let's move on to this. We get a showdown in the cafeteria. We show overcoming. Gavin, take that back. Gavin does punch Steve, and then that's the last time you goddamn see him. And then William's character of Dorian, basically they're the only ones that could stop it because you have Katie Holmes' character Rachel, who, yeah, I was 17 years old, seeing 20-year-old Katie Holmes like this. Katie Holmes has not aged one goddamn bit. She got away from Tom Cruise. Good for her. So, Steve is targeted by the jocks, but manages to escape pretty goddamn easily. He then goes to his house, and his parents seemingly are out. His sister's getting tutored by a blonde named Lorna, who has very impure thoughts and basically undresses in front of him and then basically tries to, says wrong, bad, smashes the mirror, tries to stab him. Man, I never thought I would see a 20-something, early 20-something girl stabbing a guy while wearing a schoolgirl outfit on camera again. Delete your search history, kids. So, basically it's implants in their eyes that cause this, to create perfect soldiers. Because movie? Whatever. And then it really just feels like they hacked like half the movie out. Like they could have just made this a TV movie, a sci-fi movie or something. They might have had to have toned down on the gore a little bit, but it would have been a lot better, at least running at 90 minutes, just maybe make it a 2.5-hour TV movie. The whole point is there was so much missed potential here, and the rat sound machine basically scares this one guy or causes the implant and everything to go nuts, because that's how sounds work. And Gavin made a CD. If you're seeing this, it's kind of like how Randy did that, made the tape in Scream 2, except infinitely worse, because people like Jamie Kennedy. Nobody really cared for Nick Stahl's character. Nothing against the guy. He just had a very generic character. And then then Rachel and Steve go to an institution, find out that the doctor, Bruce Greenwood's character, put his own daughter there because she just didn't take to the, the genetic enhancements, the implants and stuff like that. And then they capture Steve and Rachel, and they try to Clockwork Orange both of them. But Steve does the, great thing of getting a scalpel that nobody happens to see because there's only like 2 people working in this goddamn thing. He gets that. He cuts himself loose just before the implant gets into his eyes because they have the Be Excellent and all that and all this stuff flashing on and everything because crazy late 90s technology. Hard to believe the technology has advanced that far, and we thought that's the furthest it was going to fucking go. Seriously. I'm 40, and it's actually astounding to see some of this technology. But then we get to him just stabbing this person, killing them, rescuing Rachel. Then she basically beats up this jock, hits him in the head with a pipe after he groped her earlier. And then it's like, what is the capital of North Dakota? The goth guy. There's a goth guy that looks like powder with hair, and I couldn't ignore it. And what's the capital of North Dakota? How the fuck should I know? Then the doctor gets hit by the car. And William Sadler's character got shot. And then he decides basically to, he put up a whole bunch of things, human centipede together, a bunch of sound devices that play this noise that anger them to the point they're chasing him when they could just run away from it. But like lemmings, they follow him. And then he steps on the gas and, hey, teacher, leave those kids alone. It's an actual goddamn line. Right on the goddamn nose. Anyway, that was kind of funny. He did say do good things, lunch boy. That was actually kind of funny. And then driven off the cliff, and then he has a fight with the doctor. Bruce Greenwood goes cascading over, and then Steve, races his motorcycle onto the ferry. Apparently, the last ferry out of out off of Crescent Island, and him, Powder Boy, Katie Holmes' character, and Steve's sister are all there. Man, Steve's sister and Powder Boy are going to just make beautiful, albino kids together. Nothing wrong with being albino. But good God, he reminded me of Powder, and it fucking disturbed me. Also directed by the same guy that directed Jeepers Creepers. If you know why that's creepy. And then, everybody's happy. Where are we going to go? Home. Where's that? I don't know. And then we cut to basically a rebrand of Dangerous Minds, except without Michelle Pfeiffer. The role of Michelle Pfeiffer is now played by Gavin, who has an implant, and he survived. Apparently, they just cut him out of the movie and said, shit, we never resolved his character. Here, he's in the Dangerous Minds sequel that nobody fucking wanted. And scene. That's it. That's fucking it. That's it right there. It felt like it really should have, had about 25, 30 minutes more to it. Just something, because it was just like, blah, 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 and that's it with the characters. Anyway, agree, disagree with what I said. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.